As a kid, all a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
The Dallas Cowboys are going on the road to face the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday Night Football. Now, both of these two teams had really high expectations last year going into the 2019 NFL season. And neither one of these two teams failed to live up to the level of high expectations that they were given. Now you look at the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have one of the most talented offenses in the NFL. They got an incredible group of wide receivers. You got Amari Cooper, you got Michael Gallup, and you got rookie wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Now, it has been questions about is Amari Cooper going to play in this game because he has been battling a hamstring injury. But based on reports, Amari Cooper is going to be full go to play in this game. Now, you got the Los Angeles Rams, who also have a pretty good offense in their own right. They got a pretty good group of wide receivers. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Robert Woods, and you got rookie wide receiver Van Jefferson, who has been making a lot of noise throughout training camp for the LA Rams. Now, the question for the LA Rams offense is going to be, how good is his offensive line going to be this season? Because his offensive line is going to get tested. Because last year, their offensive line kind of took a little bit of a step down in production in terms of how good they were in 2018, the year they went to the Super Bowl, and last year. It was a little bit of regression on the offensive line side. So how good is the offensive line going to be this season? Because they're going to be facing a really good front seven with the Dallas Cowboys, especially with the addition of Everson Griffin on the opposite side of DeMarcus Lawrence. So, I mean, this LA Rams offensive line is going to get tested really early. We're going to see just how good this Rams offensive line is week one with how good of a defensive line the Dallas Cowboys have. And not only that, but there is a little bit of a question at the halfback position for the Rams. As of the time I'm recording this, it is Thursday, September 10th, 10:35 a.m. in the morning. And as of right now, we don't know who the starting halfback for the LA Rams is going to be going into this game. Now, the Rams are going to be doing a 3 halfback rotation. Darrell Henderson, who has been battling a hamstring injury, he is going to play in this game. And rookie halfback Cam Akers out of Florida State, and Malcolm Brown. Now, here's what you guys need to look for with this 3 halfback rotation in this game. Anytime you have a 3 halfback rotation or you have a halfback committee in general, you're not going to get a lot of carries. So let's say all 3 of these halfbacks gets 9 carries or at least 9 touches. And a halfback committee like this or rotation, the team is going to gravitate towards the halfback who gets the hot hand. And a lot of you guys may be like, okay, what do you mean by hot hand? Well, let's take this for example. So every halfback, let's say every halfback on the Rams this game gets 9 carries. The halfback who takes, those 9 carries and at least has 3 or 2 big plays out of those 9 carries. Let's say Darrell Henderson, for example. He gets 9 carries. He has 3 big runs. He has like a 10-yard run. He has like a 15-yard run. He has a 20-yard run, okay? The Rams, since he is the halfback who had the most big plays, will gravitate more towards him because he was the halfback who, had, the more big plays with less of the carries. So that's what people mean by going with the halfback who has the hot hand, okay? When you're in a situation like this, the halfback who emerges is the halfback who most of the time has the more big plays than the other halfbacks. So at the end of this game, we're still probably not going to have a good idea of who the starting halfback or who the clear RB1 is in Los Angeles for the Rams. And we probably may never get an answer until about the midway point of the NFL season around week 8 or week 9 is where we're probably going to figure out who the best halfback in Los Angeles is. But as of right now, going into this game, we don't know who the best halfback is. And at the end of the game, we most likely still won't know who the best halfback is in this game unless somebody just completely goes crazy with their limited amount of touches and just has like 115 rushing yards and 3 or 2 touchdowns or something like that. So, I mean, at the end of this game, the question when it comes to who the best halfback in LA is going to be for the Rams, most likely isn't going to get answered. Now, for the Dallas Cowboys, their secondary is a question that I have. Now, their secondary isn't great, but it's not bad. I want to see who's going to replace Byron Jones, because Byron Jones was a top 10 cornerback. I don't care what any Dallas Cowboy fan comes on here and tries to say about Byron Jones. He's a top 10 quarterback. Okay? He's one of the best corners in the NFL. So you got rookie Trayvon Diggs out of Alabama, who had a pretty nice camp for Dallas. Anthony Brown and Chidobe Awuzie are going to be the three main quarterbacks to look at in this game. You also got safety Xavier Rhodes and Dorian Thompson. So this secondary is going to be matched up against a really good wide receiver core for the LA Rams, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Van Jefferson. So how's this secondary going to perform? And also, if you are the Los Angeles Rams, Jalen Ramsey. I got my eye on Jalen Ramsey. How is Jalen Ramsey going to perform in this game? Because Jalen Ramsey recently signed a contract extension that made him one of the highest paid players on the defensive side of the football in NFL history. He's one of the highest paid defensive players in the history of the NFL. And if Jalen Ramsey comes out in this game and he does terrible and he just has a bad game and gets shredded by Amari Cooper or whoever he's going to be guarding this game, think about all the storylines that is going to come out of this. Because a lot of people already think that the Los Angeles Rams overpaid for Jalen Ramsey. So if Jalen Ramsey comes out in this game and he doesn't do good, it's going to be a rough morning for him when he wakes up the next day on Monday. Okay, so Jalen Ramsey, I think, has to come out here. He has to have a big game. He has to be absolutely shut down. He has to shut down Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, whoever he's going to be defending against. He has to absolutely shut them down. Because if not, if Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup goes off, it's going to be a long week for Jalen Ramsey. Because a lot of people already think that Jalen Ramsey's overrated. A lot of people already think that the LA Rams overpaid for Jalen Ramsey. So if you're Jalen Ramsey, you need to come out in this game and you need to silence the critics. Okay? Now I know a lot of players have this persona, like they don't listen to the media. They don't care about what the media says about them. But let's be honest. If you talk to any player or any former player in the NFL, they'll tell you, sometimes the media gets to them sometimes. Okay? Every single former NFL player will say that. Every single NFL player, I don't believe that every player in the NFL doesn't listen to anything that, is said on ESPN or Twitter, okay? I find that hard to believe. I mean, everybody hears something about them eventually, good or bad. So if you're Jalen Ramsey, if you don't play good in this game, you're going to have a lot of eyeballs on you. So the team that I'm going to take to win this game, before I get into my prediction, I want to talk about Mike McCarthy. Because I haven't touched on him. Mike McCarthy got fired from Green Bay because he was too old school, basically. His offense was outdated. So now that he's had a year off to look in the mirror and reinvent himself, I want to see what new wrinkles is he going to throw into this Dallas Cowboys offense. Now, somebody in the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Dallas Cowboys aren't supposed to be having any major changes to their offense. Now, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Dallas Cowboys are basically supposed to keep the same system that they had in place last year, which is why you guys haven't, heard me talk about the offense learning the new system and how many players are they going to have learned and things like that, because I said this about Cleveland and every other team that's got a new head coach. But the Dallas Cowboys are different because although they do have a new head coach, they basically plan to keep the same system from the previous year, which I think was another reason why Mark McCarthy brought in Kellen Moore. So I believe Kellen Moore has a lot of potential as a play caller. I believe, he was more of just Jason Garrett's scapegoat last year, but I believe he has a lot of potential. So Mark McCarthy, I want to see, is he going to throw any new wrinkles into this game? It doesn't have to be, a whole entire game where he's just, pulling trick plays out the butt and things like that. But I just want to see, is he going to pull out a flea flicker? Is he going to pull out like a double pass or something like that? Like, what creative new wrinkle is Mark McCarthy going to throw at the Los Angeles Rams defense? So you take everything into consideration about why he got out of Green Bay. The whole situation with Aaron Rodgers deteriorated. So, he has a very good team. Probably one of the best teams he's ever had in all his year coaching, besides that 2010 Super Bowl team he had, the Green Bay Packers. This is a really good team. Okay, a lot of talent here, especially on the defensive side of the football. So, Mark McCarthy, I just want to see some innovation. I just want to see at least 2 innovative plays out of Mark McCarthy in this game. And that just made me go, wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive. So the team I'm taking to win this game, I'm going to take Dallas to win this game. I think Dallas wins this game 31-27 because both of these two teams have really good offenses, and both of these two teams' defenses, I'm not really all that high on. I'm not really high on Dallas secondary. I'm not really high on the LA Rams, front seven at all, especially with the loss of Corey Littleton and Clay Matthews and their pass rushers like Dante Fowler. So, I think this game is going to be pretty high scoring. I think Dallas wins this game 31-27 in a shootout. And this could go either way. This is a game that could go 50-50. But I'm going to take Dallas to get the win. I think Dallas is the better team. I think Dallas is going to be able to get a little bit more stops on defense compared to the Rams because of how good the Dallas Cowboys are up front. So I'm taking Dallas to win this game 31-27. And I'm not biased. Trust me. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, I don't like watching the Dallas Cowboys play, especially having to watch them play on primetime. Like, I get really irritated. Like, sometimes when the Dallas Cowboys play on Sunday Night Football, I just don't watch it at all because I think it's a little bit ridiculous about how many primetime games the Dallas Cowboys actually get a season. Seems like every single week during the game of the week for some reason. So, I know they're America's team and everything, but come on, man. Like, I get tired of seeing the Dallas Cowboys in those primetime slots every week. But, I'm not being biased. I'm going to say that Dallas goes ahead and they get the win week 1, 31-27 in this game on the road against the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football.